Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Leadership from the Heart. My name is Renee Funk, and I am here today with my favorite co-host, Miss Elizabeth Riley. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Well, I got to say, I think you and I are both pretty giddy today about having our guests.
I have been looking forward to this, and I cannot wait to see what unfolds. Greg and Mitch, wow. First of all, Thank you for joining us. Second of all, congratulations on some really, really huge news.
Thank you so much. It's so fun to be back with you all and everyone out there. The last time we talked, I was in my basement.
That's right.
Looking up at the ceiling, trying to figure out what to do. So we've done.
Well, Greg and Mitch have both been on the show before, but there's been a few changes. There was quite an announcement made yesterday. We saw some press releases going out and a big article on Inman News. What's going on in Greg and Mitch's world?
Yeah. Well, I'll just add that the last time I spoke to both of you, I had just been quarantining in my bedroom for 14 days. You can guess why. And I can clean up nice. I'd just like to show you that compared to last time. I didn't look or sound too good. So I feel great. And I'll let Greg go into what Tomo is, but it's great to be part of this venture and great to connect with you guys again.
So good to have you, Greg. Tomo, I think we have the Tomo exclusive on Leadership from the Heart, just saying. So let's share with the world.
You do. Here's what it is. We're going to start a new company. Our friends and I, with a really, really interesting purpose and North Star. You know, we fell in love with real estate over the last decade, building that company that started with a Z. But the thing I took away from it was the unbelievable talent and commitment from a lot of great friends who are some of the best real estate agents in the world. And, you know, something I reflected on a lot is what's ahead? What's ahead with this digital future we're all talking about? What's ahead with artificial intelligence? What's ahead with automation? How do people fit in? How do you all fit in? How do I fit in? And, you know, came to some really, you know, very defined conclusions, which is an opportunity, which is I'm so impressed by the advocacy, the expertise, the commitment of so many real estate professionals, but our systems stink.
Yeah.
The platforms we have to conduct our business with take power to please from time to time away from us. It doesn't have to be this way. It just is this way. And we're to leverage, it's a moment in time in technology. We're moving, certainly in real estate, from what we think of as a document-driven model to a data-driven model. And at that, entirely new systems are going to emerge. One of them will be ours, which allows us to have faster, easier, more predictable, more customer-centric and agent-centric experiences. And I'll give you one little example, and blink 3 times if I'm going too deeply on this one. Think about, I think, the most innovative thing that's emerged in real estate in the last few years that's advanced the transaction, and I'm not talking about search, I'm talking about the transaction, is digital signature, right? We went from, you know, putting documents in New York City, where I used to live, on the back of bike messengers to faxing them to finally being able to digitally sign them, but it's still a document-driven experience. And it's not going to be that for much longer. We're going to connect through connections into third-party systems. You're going to log in as a consumer wants, put your social in. We're going to pull down all the info we already know about you. We're never going to ask you to key the same information twice. It's going to keep everyone up to date, your realtor, your lender, your title. If there's a change, everyone will know about it without having to call each other or email. It's going to be a robust system of experiences. So that's kind of what's influencing this new company, Tomo, is this fundamental change, and then wanting to put the agent in the driver's seat of advocating for their customers. And our line here is, you can't fix the real estate transaction unless you fix the mortgage. So the first product we're going to launch with is a digital mortgage product that I think is going to be really interesting. And I will pause there? That was a lot.
I love this because when we all met before, I mean, you have these visions and you have these goals and you're trying to figure out what next. And it's just amazing in such a short amount of time, you're addressing something that seems so basic, but it's definitely, you're right. We're way behind the rest of the other industries out there in how we conduct business. And I love that. And again, we keep talking about operating in adversity and stopping and listening. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, 2020 has been really a challenge. Yes, but so many great things are emerging from it as well. And I love to see that you took that time and that opportunity and you're doing something pretty significant.
Yeah, Elizabeth, it's really powerful. There's one note, and then Mitch, all you. I was hearing this number the other day. The greatest number of companies ever formed in history is the last quarter. There's more companies founded in the United States in any quarter in history of the company than this past quarter. So there's a lot of suffering that's emerged because of COVID, but a lot of folks like me staring at the ceiling, thinking about how can I make things better.
Yeah, and I was just going to add, Renee, you and Elizabeth are two great examples of agents that I know that are highly productive and deeply care about your clients. But let's face it, there are many clients that the happiest day they have is the day they pick their home. And then it's all downhill from there. Then that's when the drama starts. How's the title going? How's the appraisal going? Is the loan going to work? And then all the outside drama. And I just went through this summer. Wait, we should have the painter come in before the floors are done, but can we order the furniture they want to deposit? But the appraisal's not in. So you have all this kind of side drama that you're dealing with and all the joy of, oh my gosh, we found this place to make all these memories and dreams come true. Like you just kind of get deflated. And maybe this is why people don't buy a home very often. It's like, oh my God, I hope I don't have to do that again. And if we can be part of fixing that and working with people like you guys that already care so deeply about your clients, like that, everybody ends up winning.
Mitch, you've had some amazing companies and startup companies in your history that I like to think of it in a way that you come in and bring some additional magic to. What an amazing career you've had. Why Tomo?
Well, I think there's two reasons. One is I like working with people I admire that are smart, that have integrity, want to do the right thing. That's me personally where I start. But beyond that, my career over the last decade or whatever has been about, I deeply believe in local business people. And I don't think of you guys so much as an industry. One of you is in Florida, one of you is in Texas. You're in local communities making local decisions. And I'm a big believer in local business people. And beyond that, you're helping people's, again, dreams come true. And I like to be connected to that. I like to think in some way I am doing good for the world. And this is how I think about it is, my house that I'm in right now, I deeply love. It's where my kids were raised. It's where so many things have happened. And that's what you guys do every day. And I want to be, part of that experience.
I'm curious, where did Tomo, where's that name from?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of reflection, a lot of work. Japan. Have you ever been to Japan? Have either of you been?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, hopefully there'll be an Olympics soon, and there'll be a reason for all of us to go. We went for the first time 3 years ago, my wife Lisa and I, and it was some of the most important travel we've ever done. It was the most different place I'd ever been to. Culturally, and I had this most kind of vivid moment, which hopefully we all have these every once in a while, which triggered a total opening of awareness, which is we were on the famous bullet train platform, those trains that go hundreds of miles an hour, and we don't speak any Japanese. We've never been there. And we're trying to get from Tokyo to Kyoto, and I'm on the platform and I've got the ticket and I can't read the ticket, and I am completely in awe of how we're going to get from one city to the next, because I can't even match the characters. And I feel a tap on my shoulder, and it was the taxi driver that actually drove us to the train station. He'd parked his car, stopped making money, walked up the stairs, found us because he thought about us. Wow. And he realized that undoubtedly this lemming was going to get lost. And he looked at, he didn't speak any English. He looked at her ticket and he figured out the train and he stood us and then he kind of moved us on and then he said, thank you. And you don't actually, it's not a tipping culture in Japan. So it wasn't for the money. There was no tip. You wouldn't take it. What it was he felt committed to his craft, to his service. And throughout Japan, we kept interacting with folks that seemed to have incredible integrity in their professions and their careers, whatever it was. An architect, I met some folks working in technology, a taxi driver, a restaurant owner. There was just incredible pride in their craft. And when I got back, I started researching that. And there's a concept called omotenashi, which is this Japanese concept that is your integrity comes from anticipating your customers' needs and meeting them without them having asked for them. And so Tomo is the first 4 letters of omotenashi. And when I think about the best real estate agents in our business, I think about that. You will know what your customers are to go through before they go through it. You know the right block for them to live on. You know your neighborhoods. You know the right financing product for them. You know the painter they ought to use to repaint. You know what their experience should be, and you're anticipating them. And so that's what we want to do with Tomo, is partner with the best real estate agents in the biz, bring the best digital tools first around financing, have a system that allows us to anticipate all the steps the customer is going to go through, and arm them with that knowledge. So the fear that we feel about the transaction as a buyer starts to diminish. So that's where the name came from. Tomo is the first 4 letters of omotenashi backwards. And so be it.
I love stories. I love when there is a name that has a meaning. And sometimes you'll hear random stories of where a name came from. You're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That will stay with me every single time because you hit the nail on the head. I mean, that is absolutely what we strive to do every single day in our business. We want to anticipate what they're needing. We want to be there before they even know that they need us there. And I love that example.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mitch, I'd love to hear, do you have an example of omotenashi?
Yeah, it's funny. This just happened to me this past Saturday, and I thought I was being punked by Greg. I thought he set this up because it was so weird. My wife and I have been going to the same restaurant 7 Saturdays in a row. It's in this little local community that we're part of. We feel very safe there. And our waitress, I think all 7 Saturdays, has been this woman named Brooke. And Brooke, during the week, she told us she works for state government and some licensing bureau, but she's making a few bucks on the weekend, Friday and Saturday night. And we were there last Saturday night, and my wife and I sit down, and we're not sure what we want to eat or drink. We're just kind of collapse into our chairs, and she brings 2 glasses and a bottle of our favorite wine. The same wine we ordered, I think, the last 2 weeks. And I was like, Brooke, like, I'm not even sure what I want. She's like, my job is to anticipate your needs. She used that exact phrase. My job is to anticipate your needs. And I was, of course, I then slowed down her entire evening by explaining omotenashi to her and told her she was like the best example that hit me right in the face. But that's what it's all about, right? Like, I didn't even know what my needs were. She did.
I love that example. And I love the 2 of you in this initiative and this company. We talk a lot on this show about putting customer service at the forefront, which quite frankly, there's a void in our industry for customer service focus. And I love that you are launching a company that is focused on service with efficiencies so that we can help improve the service level to our customers. That's what it's all about.
It is. It is. We think a lot about how unique it is that our industry has been organized on licensees. Folks think of themselves as a brokerage, a real estate brokerage, or as a mortgage company or a title company. That's the regulatory license. Folks don't describe themselves as generally pursuing and supporting first-time home buyers or historic home buyers or just home buyers. So what we're trying to do with Tomo is is it's a customer first company, and we're going to look at the problem space around buying and moving into a home, and then try to bring this mix of modern digital technologies and then world-class professionals to advocate for those folks, and then we'll see where it all goes. One thing we do observe is the great companies of this era take really complicated experiences and remove that complexity from the view of their customers and bake it into their platforms. And they're compensated by customers for doing it because we want to spend our time on other things, right? So a little example, ordered batteries on Amazon the other day. I have no idea who their payment processor was. I don't know who built the shopping cart that I put it in. I have no idea who delivered it. The battery showed up and I put them in the flashlight. I was really happy because then I could take the dog for a walk at night with my wife. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to go for a walk. In housing, we have to know who the payment processor is, right?
Yeah.
We effectively know who's delivering the package. The customer has to be exposed and has an incredible depth of choice around each one of these elements. And I believe we were there because of history and practice, not because it's the best architecture to do what we want to do, which is to get folks into homes they love and can afford. So we're going to work, hopefully, with the two of you in time and other great partners. And we're going to figure this out together.
So you mentioned that you're first going to launch the mortgage side, right? And then other things will follow. We've all known and experienced other digital type mortgage companies. How will this be different from those other companies that we won't mention any of their names, but we all know who they are? How are you going to set yourself apart, and how are you going to be different with Tomo?
Yeah, so this is an important one, because if I know anything from the past 13 years of working and serving my realtor friends, it is that they have long memories. If you muss up a deal, even if it's 5 or 6 years ago, you're going to hear about it forever.
Right.
So number one is we're not going to see other company till we can manufacture a digital mortgage accurately, on time, with little drama every time. Okay? So don't grow, don't scale until you're ready to scale. That right. Kind of like that's a little counterintuitive, but like there's a lot that will go into it. But if just 5% of the time we're missing a close because it's on us, that's 5% of people's dreams that we're really impacting. And those are 5% of the realtors that won't ever want to work with our company again. So we're not going to do that. So one, on time, every time is the mantra in the company. Two, have you talked about NPS, Net Promoter Score, on the show?
I don't know if we have on this show, but we're familiar with it. Yeah, we're familiar with it.
Yeah. So
our company uses NPS quite a bit.
I see a trend. Mitch is in the corner of some of these companies. We want to have the best NPS in the market. NPS being Net Promoter Score, which means the customers, your customers who have completed a transaction, will they recommend you or will they be a detractor? And it's a calculated score. And we want to have the best NPS in the business. And if we don't have superior NPS, we won't scale again till we do. So that's the second thing. The third thing is teams. It's a business of people. And I don't mean an agent or a real estate team. I mean a team in the classic sense. We're going to have our team of loan officers and processors assigned by region. And then we're even going to have folks in the field. And so there's going to be a great regularity to the dialogue and to the accountability of the agent and the processor and the realtor, and the LO, so that they have that regular reoccurring accountability to each other and familiarity with each other, and so that they know their local markets and feel like a team. With that said, we're going to be really careful about the regulatory requirements of what you can and can't do together. That's not going to be lost on us. And then there's going to be escalation paths. So everyone is going to be able to get to me. The CEO of the company, if we're not closing on time, certainly I don't want you to have to call me. But if we're not closing on time, or if we have a disruptive experience, this company is never going to be so large that you can't get to the CEO if you're a realtor and if you're a partner. And we think that that will allow us to do it different. Have our leadership shown and available, operate as a team, be geographically focused, and allow relationships, even if folks are in a call center, they're going to know each other and they're going to know you.
That accessibility is key. And I think that sometimes people have those intentions and they lose sight of what really mattered. But I know in talking to you in the past and just watching your career, and Mitch as well, I know that's one of your focuses. And I know by you saying that right here, we're never going to get too big where somebody doesn't have access to me. You mean that, and you'll stand behind that. And I love when you talk about we're not going to scale until we're ready to scale, until we've perfected. And I think so many companies get really excited and they start doing things well, and they're like, oh, okay, well, we'll just do this. And then your attention gets diluted. So the fact that you're mindful of the task at hand, we're going to perfect what we're doing before moving on, I think will speak volume, and it's going to make people take notice and want to partner with you a little bit more because they know that you want to correct what's not right and make it better, an experience for everybody all around. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go back to Greg's analogy. It's great that the batteries arrived on time, but if they didn't arrive on time, you'd probably be okay waiting one more night to take your dog for a walk, right? What we're doing, again, this is what people live for. They're anticipating when the mover is going to arrive. They want to, they've been dreaming of this place. Like we owe it to them, and we owe it to you as their advocate to take care of things.
Well, on the stress level, you're not even talking about that with all the moving parts, right? I mean, they're very anxious. They've got people moving from all over the country, all over town, where we do this day in and day out to help people. We're not actually in that situation. And so from what you're talking about, it's going to eliminate a lot of that unnecessary anxiety that people naturally feel through this process anyway.
Yeah.
Well, as a realtor, we want to partner with affiliates who know and focus on that fact, right? That will help us streamline this. So I'm loving the direction of everything, all things Tomo I've heard so far. And I mentioned Inman News when we first launched this session. But let's be real, we saw Tomo all over the news yesterday. And so I have to ask you, Greg, what prompted investors to make such large investments into Tomo and the launch of this awesome company?
Yeah, we did okay with investors for a really good group of investors.
I want to clarify that, Greg. You're being modest.
Yeah, we did okay. We raised sufficient capital to be able to build I hope to be a great company and a great partner. So $40 million, which is a bit. Why? Because the leading investors in the country, in Silicon Valley and in New York, in Seattle, all have bought homes or they've rented a home. And they acknowledge the importance that home plays in our lives. But they were all genuinely frustrated every single pitch. And, it was really interesting. I pitched 65 investors via Zoom, just locked in a room every day. And it's not just one pitch. Often it's 4 or 5 or 6. And so months and months and months locked in a room, just pitching all day by Zoom. And there wasn't anyone that looked at us and said, not valuable work for real estate or to build a more streamlined experience. So that certainly helped, but the problem space, as we call it, is big and recognized. The other thing is, it's pretty generally recognized that, at least among the investors we worked with, I'll tell you, I've watched companies come into real estate now for decades talking about the revolution. And they're going to be a revolutionary change. And they're going to change everything from top to bottom. And you know who I'm talking about, and because you know something I don't even know. But But from top to bottom, companies have come on in and said that everything in real estate needed to change, and they were going to change it, and they failed, top to bottom, every single one of them. And there are those that look at the industry and are respectful of what it is, but want to optimize it. We're looking to optimize. We're trying to make better. We're not trying to replace. And because of our history, Carrie Armstrong and I, my co-founder, we had some credibility with investors who were fresh and ready not to be pitched with a version of the world that replaced people. Because everyone's pitching the AI, the rise of the AI, the artificial intelligence. It's just not what we believe. And I think that was the key, was that we're looking to make the industry better.
That is
so refreshing.
Obviously, we've been doing, I mean, it's so refreshing because just like you're saying, the industry was due for a change. It's been due for a change for a very, very long time. And it speaks to your leadership as well. I mean, you and Mitch both have amazing resumes, and you've done things right, and you've treated people right all along the way. And that's equity, right? So I love what you're doing. And, you keep talking about working with the agents and the real estate agent professionals. What does that look like? Share a little bit with what that looks like, and how will that be good for us to partner with Tomo?
Yeah. So, hey, we'll be in the market with a live product in the first quarter next year. So we're going to keep some secrets, so we can surprise and delight, because we believe in the surprise and the delight. But what our job is if we can, to introduce you to some terrific new prospects, new customers, if that's possible. We'll see how that works out. But most importantly is to be a dependable, well-priced, digital, easy, accurate lender. And if we do that, I bet we'll earn our way into your hearts, and into your partnerships. And I'll keep the rest of it a secret for a moment, but I promise I will come on when we're close to launch.
And let me just add, Elizabeth, you were talking about the stress the consumer feels. Yeah. You guys feel that same stress. Like, you guys are amazing agents. I know so many amazing agents, but a lot of agents get blamed for everything, right? If the title isn't working out, if the appraisal doesn't come in right, and if the mortgage of things get screwed up, you guys are just trying to be an advocate. But if we can help make that better for our agent friends as well, then that will also be a big success.
Well, Renee always says, anytime there's a referral opportunity or any opportunity out there, she's always saying, I want to earn your business. How can I earn your business? And essentially that's what you and Mitch are both saying right now, is we want to earn your business. We want to earn that relationship, because after all, we're not in the real estate business. We're in the relationship business. And I think you guys notice that, you recognize that, and you're taking it to a new level.
Thank you.
And Greg, I just want to say, when you were explaining, you said, if we do it, we need to nudge you and say that is changed to when we do.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, did I just coach the most amazing leader ever? Yes, I did.
You got me. Those are the wrong words coming out of my mouth. Thank you for the correction.
When.
Do it again.
I love it. I love it. Words matter. And I believe in that word, when. I believe it. We believe it here.
Yeah, thank you.
So what I'm really excited about, and I want to know if it's true, because we have some newspapers and some news articles here that I'm seeing, and it's rumored you're going to have an office in Austin, Texas, which, oh my gosh, I'm here.
We know some people in Austin.
Hey, so first of all, don't stop being a real estate agent, Elizabeth. You're way too valuable to your community. We don't want to see your resume, but yes, we're going to be in Austin, right, Greg?
We are.
I cannot wait that y'all are going to be here first and foremost, and to hopefully see you all face to face. But talk about the team you have so far. Who are you going to have here, and what's your plan?
Yeah, really good team on board already. It's increasing every day. We're probably about 20 people as of today, all living in a Zoom world. I can't wait to have an office, a real old-fashioned office or modern office in, I think we'll go downtown Austin, is where the team wants to go. We're building our mortgage operations in Austin, co-headed by two local leaders. Tad Hensley and Travis Peace, two really, really interesting guys that formerly were at the great USAA before joining us, and they were hires 1 and 2 for Carrie and I, my co-founder and I. Travis is going to run the sales operations and a lot of the architecture of the business. An ex-Navy nuclear engineer. That's how complicated our industry is. One of the architects of our business is a nuclear engineer from the Navy, and Tad is just a wizard in mortgage. And so we'll have all kinds of interesting jobs: loan officers, processors, underwriters, trainers in Austin. And then we're going to have an office in Seattle. We're going to do much of our development, software development, out of Seattle. And then I'm now in Connecticut. And so we'll be in Stamford, Connecticut. So we're going to be in those 3 spots. And we'll do much of our marketing and also loan operations out of Stanford. So kind of a 3-part deal. But you're going to see us make a pretty sizable investment of people in Austin. We hope to be hundreds of teammates strong here at Tomo in about a year's time.
Well, I definitely can't wait till y'all are here. And I definitely wouldn't be a very good business owner or real estate agent if I didn't say I may know a real estate agent or 2 that can help all those people out. So just if you need a referral or recommendation, I'm your girl.
Deal.
And let me just say, I wouldn't be good at my job if I didn't say we do have lots of openings already posted, and folks can go to tomonetworks.com and learn a little bit more about us and see if there's a job that they or their friends might be interested in.
I'll definitely spread the word on that. That's so exciting. I might have to apply because I would love to work with you guys on a daily basis.
That'd be fun.
Before we wrap, Elizabeth and I are often known for putting our guests on the hot seat, and we have one more question for each of you. I have to say that through the last 7 months, this whole globe has been faced with adversity, and seeing the 2 of you leaders who we both respect in tremendous amounts show up, right? The last 7 months, it's been about those who show up. You showed up, you came from resolution mindset, you created and launched a new company. With that in mind, that brings us to our final question. What does leadership from the heart mean to you each? Mitch, love to hear from you first.
I'll tell you the word I've been focusing on a lot the past few months. And I think to be a great leader today, empathy is especially important. Empathy goes across everything. It goes across how you think about your end customer. It's understanding your staff and kids that are learning from home while you have staff that is committed to doing their work. It's just the general environment we're in that we all need to do the best we can to take care of each other and understand that everybody's life and situation are different. And if we can relate to that and have good thoughts and maybe even help them, I think a leader today, that's a really important part of their job.
Love it. Mr. Greg.
What he just said is right. I'd add 2 more things to it. In any time, particularly in times of difficulty, the leader's job is to communicate, and then communicate. So we spend a lot of time thinking about how to take complexity and identify the 2 or 3 most important things for our company and our teams to focus on. And then we communicate about those over and over and over again to the point where, as a leader, you're sick of hearing yourself talk. Then you got to say it one more time, because we're just a small piece of what all of our teammates are thinking about and living, and we forget that. We think the thing that we're doing is their everything. So that's one, which is we communicate. And the second one, as a leader, with heart, is it's not about you. It's about everybody else. And if that can be authentic, if you can authentically care about the people around you, then you can be a great leader. And so at times I try not to talk. I try not to have the answer. If the team's coming along, it gets easier, not harder.
Wow. And you both definitely share and show those attributes. And you are both amazing leaders, and we look up to you. And it means the world that you came on with us today to share all this news. We can't wait to watch it just succeed beyond your wildest dreams, because I know it will. And we can't be, wait to be partners with you in some form or fashion, and see how we can all grow together.
Oh, wait. Okay. We wouldn't be doing our job, Elizabeth and I, if we didn't secure our next appointment. And I know, Greg, you were withholding being a little cheeky about the Q1 announcements and releasing more information. So can we go ahead and get that confirmation from both of you that you'll be coming back to Leadership from the Heart to make those announcements?
Mitch.
Yeah, you bet. Of course.
There you go. We have it.
You heard it here.
It's live.
That's an easy answer.
Well, the two of you it's so fun to get on with you. The two of you clearly are having a ton of fun by being kind to others. I know this isn't your business. You've got a business, so you're doing this for the good of the community. And that's a blast. And that's what leadership is. So I will definitely come back to support you all because you support everybody else around you. So thank you.
We appreciate you both so much. It's such an honor to have you on today. Thank you for joining us.
And congratulations.
Yay!
Thank
you guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Make it a great day. Follow Tomo online. We can't wait to learn more. Bye, Greg. Bye, Mitch. Bye, Elizabeth.
Yeah.